Is this a signature or is this off the rack?
It's off the rack, actually. I remember when I started working with Schecter, I was going through the basses, and there was this black, I call it diamond. It looks like a telly, but it was black. So I got 2 of those, and then this Model T, and I saw this yellow. I always play black basses.
It looks good against the black.
That's what I love about it. It was like one. So anyway, yeah, when I saw it, I went, I want it, and it fits me with all my black, you know, hanging on my knee. There's something about it that looks cool, so I'm into it. But we're working on some stuff for me to they're going to make a 12-string for me soon.
You know, it's interesting because people would think like, oh, it'd be great to get to go to a guitar company and design an instrument. And, you know, it's not as easy as people would think, walk in and go, oh, but the sky's the limit, I get to design my thing, because there's parameters of instruments that work. You know, I got into these Jacksons just because they just sounded good.
And they got great action.
This one is actually 35-inch scale, which is an inch longer, which stretches the frets just a scotch. And we put some 9-inch graphite rods in this neck, and I tell you what, man, there's a spank to it that really, and it seems like overall my 34-inch, just my actual signature Jackson, it's like that Fender thing. I fight with it. I have to dig into it and really push on it. And this one just you know what I mean? I'm able to just kind of shred. It's like a shredder bass, you know?
I can't even think that fast.
I try not to think when I'm playing that fast.
That's why I can't play fast, I think.
Don't think, just go for it.
Yeah, I don't get a chance. I don't have the luxury of thinking of those. I'm always singing.
Yeah.
So I get it where it needs to be, and I'm not listening. I'm just trying to get through the night, you know.
Yeah. Are you on in-ears or are you using
I used to be
monitors?
in-ears. 10 years we did in-ears.
Why'd you switch?
We had a gig, a one-off gig, and we didn't feel like taking in-ears and going through the whole rigmarole. We said, let's just set up and play, and we used to do it in the past. We can do this. Right. So we rehearsed for 2 days, and we had so much fun. It was like, wow, it's so nice to hear the sound swirling around the room and the whole thing. So we haven't used them since.
Did it connect you better as musicians on the stage?
I think more to the audience more than anything.
Interesting. Yeah, it's weird when you have ears on because it's like having headphones on.
Right.
And all of a sudden, you feel completely disconnected. Like they're all screaming at you, like having fun, and you're kind of like, you feel like you're in the studio.
Yeah,
right.
Ty would say, dude, wait a minute, they're yelling and screaming and you don't hear them, and you start the next song, and I'm going, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear them.
Album covers sold me. I remember seeing AC/DC, If You Want Blood, and Angus is stabbing the guitar through his chest, and he's lying dead on the back of the stage with the guitar sticking through his back.
What a great record.
I was like, dude, that's so metal. Megadeth ended, there's a few years I was away from it doing
You know, I didn't even know you guys broke up.
Yeah, 2002 the group disbanded. Then I went on and worked at Peavey and did artist relations stuff and went to college and did all that kind of stuff. So,
dude, I had no idea anything. I just been buying, Megadeth records and running to Dave every now and then.
Yeah.
You know, with his smile, he just smiles. So yeah, what's up with Megadeth now?
When Dave and I reconnected in 2010. It was a huge moment because we were going to go do this 20th anniversary of the Rust in Peace record, which for a lot of our fans is one of their favorite records. Dave and I probably play better together now than we ever did because we're both, more seasoned players. Megadeth is one of these groups where fans want to hear. It's like the past is still our best future. You know what I mean? They want to hear these 20th anniversary records, and it's cool, man. And, having been there in the room when we wrote them, recorded them, and then, as you know, some records you make them and you never play them again. You never play. You play the single or two, and that's it.
Yeah.
This year's 20th anniversary of Euthanasia, so all of a sudden fans are starting to go, hey, what about Euthanasia? So there's another record now. We're going to start to learn some of those songs.
Well, all I know is we're thinking about King's X, thinking about doing like a Gretchen record or Faith Up Love or something.
I recommend it.
I can't sing that high anymore.
You know what? You drop it down another half step.
Well, we're dropped down to C.
B, here we come.
Somebody sent me an email one time and said, dude, you had the crowd sing Goldilocks, but can you bring the key up a little bit? It was too low for us.
You know what, quite honestly, I don't think the fans care.
Led Zeppelin and Black Sabbath do it now.
They just want to hear the tune, man. And they want to see us playing the song. So, I tell you, the Gretchen thing, there'd be a whole bunch of us lined up to see that.
Awesome.
A
We
whole
want to do
bunch
an
of us.
evening with King's X and do a whole Gretchen show.
Man, I get goosebumps.
We're
I
even
think you
thinking.
should.
We're even talking about getting a choir. Can you see a choir singing behind us? You know, over my head or something.
You know, the live show is such a huge thing for guys like you and me who have these legacies of this material that we've done over the years. I find more and more the fans want to come and see that because there's a lot of young fans. I see even in the Megadeth audience up front are young fans.
Yeah.
Then there's the next age group. And then the 30-year fans that have been with us from the
Yeah.
beginning, they're up in the balcony,
Yeah,
right? They don't want to.
They got to get home and put the kids to bed.
Yeah, they're
so
looking
waiting
at
till you get
youngsters.
done.
We used to do that. We used to do that, you know. But these kids in the front, man, they didn't get to see it years ago, and they're coming out to experience it for the first time. So for them, it is their first time. So it makes us have to perform every bit as good as we did 30 years ago. But I think in some ways because we're better musicians, we've been doing this longer. Quite honestly, I think we play these songs better than we did even back then.
The more we play that same thing,
Yeah.
the more we learn how to put our heart into it so that you play that one note and people go, oh my God,
Yeah.
instead of that one note and they don't get nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so subtle, but it's so real and honest. I mean, I saw Aerosmith not too long ago, the original band. Come on. It's like they're in each other's heads.
Yeah.
Every note was like everything flowed, you know, AC/DC, you know.
And that's what makes a group cool, is because you're not even thinking about it.
Right.
It's just second nature.
Right. I used to take brooms and bats, whatever, and stand in the mirror and go, you know.
Air bassing and air guitaring, right? It starts out with brooms, because I did the same thing. I'd air
Awesome.
broom, air broom, dude. So what's coming up? What's on the horizon?
Lots
next?
of stuff. My solo record just came out. It's called Naked a few months ago. Played everything on it. I mean, this record, I poured my heart out. But anyway, I got a jam band out in a Joshua Tree. We're called Third Ear Experience. We go out there and play for hours, and we record it. So we've got that up online. And then KXM with George Lynch and Ray Luzier. We just finished the record. PGP, which is Eric Gales, me, and Thomas Pridgeon. We put a record out about 8 months ago. The new one is coming out in 3 months. It'll be called Pinnick, Gales, Pridgeon.
Dude, you're busy.
Yes, and then and then I have another band called Grinders Blues. It's a blues band. The Billmer brothers are called, two brothers, guitar player and bass. And so we took every blues rock drum beat that we could come up with, 12 of them, and wrote songs around them. We had the choo-choo, the shuffle, the everything. And so that's done, but we haven't put it out yet because they're doing a reality show right now. And so we're going to try to pump that into the reality show. So I got a lot of stuff going on.
Nice.
And you know,
That's
King's
cool.
X is doing shows. I think that's it. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's all. I did it all in the last 4 years living here in LA. So what you guys doing?
Man, well, we've
Or what
actually-
are you doing?
Yeah, we've got a nice year of Megadeth touring coming up. We're going to do this euthanasia record. People are asking about it. And I don't know if we'll do it in its entirety, but I think we'll pull a few of the songs in from it. South America is a huge home away from home for us, so we're going to go back down there. And then we're in Europe for at least a couple of months. And it just kind of, like, the phone's always ringing. We're one of these bands where it seems like the phone's always ringing, dates are always there. And so at some point, either during that time, we're going to write some new material, demo it, and be prepared to probably get a new record out in 2015. And then Frank Bello and I did these tunes, this Altitudes and Attitude little EP that we put out. And it was kind of fun because you realize not everything you write works in your band, right? So as you know, because you've got 15 things you're doing, and it's nice to have that because in the beginning you need to be focused. It needs to be one band, all for one, one for all. But as you get older and your bands are established, it is cool to have some other things. I got some guys even back in Phoenix where I live that we write with. I write with some guys in Greece and London, all around. I kind of write with guys all around the world. And it's, you know, doing things digitally, emailing some parts around. And it's a fun thing to do.
I do a lot of work singing on people's records. They just send me the tracks.
It's funny, if you want to use my name, it'll cost you this much. If you just need the bass part, it'll only cost you this much.
But it's a paycheck, and we get to do what we love.
All right, Doug, dude, this has been awesome, man. This has been great. You know, you and I have hung a lot at Bass Player magazine events and NAMM and just around and everything like that. And
I've seen you live.
Yeah, likewise,
times.
same with you. And it's just cool to just kind of dig in and get a little up close and personal with you on just, you know, what makes you tick. And you're one of the respected artist bass players and singers in our community. So it's cool to just kind of get down and dirty with you and see what makes you roll, you know.
Hey,
Should we do a little jam here?
Yeah. There you go.
Killer, man.